Hi YouTube, this is Crystal and I am off to Shambhala here on YouTube. I am also Sunflowers Boutique on eBay, and today I am going to be talking about easy bread and butter eBay listings that buyers are looking for and you can pick up for nickels. Those hard to resist things that, yeah, you're probably not going to make $10 on, or maybe you will make about $10 on. Maybe only $5, which I know I always say I'm not going to do those, but there are some items that are hard to resist because they're just so easy. They're cheap if you find them, especially at a weigh and pay. They weigh only a few ounces, so you're just paying nickels for them, and they're so easy to photograph, easy to store, and people are actually interested in them. So they move, which is, I think, the key, especially if you are going to deal with items that you make $5 to $10 on. And some of these types of items you actually might even make more than that, but these particular ones, I'm thinking they're more like $10 items. So, but before I get started showing you those items, I want to give a shout out to Gilldaddy here on YouTube. Let's see, I'm going to zoom in here. This is Gilldaddy's channel, and a few years ago I had thought about trying to get into eBay, you know, as a business, and I just didn't. I was afraid that I would end up buying all this stuff that wouldn't sell, and it would be, I would have to spend a lot of time and money figuring it out, and I would have all this stuff I'd have to deal with, and I just thought, no, I'm going to try something else. And then I happened upon the Gilldaddy channel one day on YouTube, and I thought, hey, I'm going to try to do what they're doing. And so last January 2014, I decided I'm going to give this a serious try, and I've been doing it pretty much part-time. I probably spend let's just say 15 to 30 hours a week on eBay. So I am still part-time, and I am loving it, and I have found a lot of success, and I thank Gilldaddy, the Gilldaddy channel, Gill Mama and Gilldaddy, for helping me get started, and they have changed my life. I needed something like this so bad, and I just cannot express enough gratitude for their inspiration and their willingness to share their success with others. So I highly recommend that if you are having some difficulties, or you're just not doing the numbers that you want to see on eBay, that you take a look at Gilldaddy's channel. If you do the things that they are doing, you will see increases in revenue, I promise you, because when I am doing the types of things that they suggest that you do, I do well. The only thing that keeps me from doing as much stuff as they do is I feel like I have to test things, and I just don't know what these things are. You know, it takes a little time. I'm not very tech savvy, and you know, they're much more tech savvy. But you know, you got to start somewhere, and I'm getting there. Anyways, so let's get on to today's topic. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about some things that you could just pick up for pennies, like especially at a weigh and pay or garage sales, or maybe on Dollar Day at Goodwill. If you happen to come across these, they might be worth paying $1 for. But again, it's about being able to pick these things up for pennies. Now, I happen to just have a lot of these items laying around my house, and that's how I sort of discovered that, hey, these are actually things people are interested in. So that's another thing. If you've got some things laying around the house and you don't think you're going to make a lot of money on them, but hey, you've got them anyways, you know, try a few of those kind of things that, you know, you don't necessarily need anymore, and just see what happens, and then it'll give you ideas for when you're outsourcing. And maybe in order to increase your revenue per transaction, you could do things in lots. Do like these types of things, you could do them in lots. Anyways, okay, so the first item, it wasn't actually this case binder. It's like a zipper binder that's really great for students, and it's actually, these things are only like $25 or $30. Now these this one has like, I don't know if you can see this here. Yeah, I guess you can. This is a single 3-ring binder. Now I get these for my son every year for school, and I get the double binder, so it has 3 rings on this side and 3 rings on that side. This is just sort of like another style, and I just happened to pull this one up. Anyways, so these are really neat, and I think they're relatively affordable. Like, they're a lot more affordable than those day timers that you get at like Office Max and stuff that I used to always buy. Now again, these aren't as professional looking. If you're for people that are in professions, they probably would prefer to have something like a day timer that's leather. But it's the same idea, more for students, and they're not that expensive. However, they do come with these. This was my listing that sold right away, and this is the second time I've listed these. And next time I get these, I am going to raise my price because they go really fast, and people are interested in these. These are like the inserts that you put in a 3-ring binder, and you can use these in any 3-ring binder, but these come from the case-its. And there's probably other brands out there that are like this, but people like these. And I think case-it might actually be a good keyword to use, even if you find something and you don't know if it's a case-it. You could say it's like a case-it binder insert, you know, or similar to something like that. I think there's rules about doing that, so you got to make sure to do it right, and I need to look into that more. But anyways, yeah, this sells, so if you see these, pick them up. I mean, at a weigh-in pay, this would probably be like a nickel or a dime for these, and you could probably, this buyer bought these for just under $10 shipped. So I'm like really thrilled to get a little bit of my money back for my investment, and I will be looking for those in the future. Okay, here's another thing that I had. Okay, come on, this is doing this again. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. This is another thing that I've had laying around the house. I used to wear like a London Fog trench coat back in the day. I used to be a little more into dressing up before the kids came along, and I like to, you know, have, I don't know, I just was more into like a formal conservative look for a while there, and I had this trench coat in my closet forever, and I stopped wearing it, and it just took up all this space, and a couple years ago, before I even conceived of getting into eBay, I got rid of it. I would imagine that trench coats are probably pretty good right now. And also, I've seen them a lot in the magazines, like the fashion magazines, like this fall, like trench coats are looking like, you know, the fashion magazines are pushing trench coats right now. So I would highly recommend that you look for trench coats. Or if you find a trench coat at a weigh-in pay, and maybe the trench coat is in crappy condition, grab the belt off of it. We're talking nickels at a weigh-in pay, or even at a garage sale, you know, somebody might have these laying around, 25 cents. So I sold this right away for just under $8, not including shipping. So again, the people paid $10 for this shipped. Now, and again, if I find another one of these, I'm probably going to list it at 10, maybe even 12. And I don't know if this was actually a London Fog, but I put London Fog up in there. And again, I know there's rules about saying that something is a certain brand and it's not, but that's probably a video for another day. I need to research that. Maybe you guys know. Leave a comment. But anyways, London Fog trench coat belts. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, if you notice, these items are all really easy to photograph, extremely light, take up hardly any space. Here's another one that I wish I had sold for more money, because this got a lot of interest as well. And I know that some, not all, because I've had other like owner's manuals and instructions for things sit around forever. But I think anything that's sort of there's a better picture of it, related to kitchen gadgets that are really popular, or other like popular gadgets. I can't think of anything like, as far as that's not a kitchen gadget, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you know, the blenders, the food processors, dehydrators, bread makers, things like that. And those are things that people are probably picking up at thrift stores and Goodwills, and they don't have the owner's manual, and they'd probably like to have it. So there you go. And I had this laying around because I actually had this Health Master emulsifier, they call it. And I sold every single part to it. I parted it out, and I probably made $120, $130 on this, parting it out. Yeah, that might be a little high. Let's just say $100 to be fair. But yeah, and I thought, well, you know, who would want this? But they want it. And they were really happy to get it, this person that bought this, and especially for that price. So I think if I had these again or something like this, I think I'm going to start listing them for about the $10 mark. And again, I mean, people at garage sales might even just give these away. I'm sure you can pick them up real cheap when you find them. Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you guys, and this probably isn't really some kind of amazing thing that wouldn't occur to you, but I want to talk about Hello Kitty, because I love Hello Kitty. I am a big Hello Kitty fan, and I have had a lot of stuff laying around, Hello Kitty stuff, and you know, as I got into this eBay business, I'm like, really, what do I need these for? I mean, I just sort of sit in the drawer. This one was hanging in my closet, and I got it to use as like a little makeup case for traveling or whatever, and I just don't use it, you know. And it was really hard to part with this little bag, though. But yeah, so I put them in a lot for just under $10, not including shipping, and bam, they sold. And again, if you find these things, if they're like these note paper things, they're like half used, you know, any kind of Hello Kitty thing, put them together in a lot until you have enough that you think you can get $12 to even $20 for. If I have a couple of other Hello Kitty things that I was planning on throwing in here if this didn't sell or whatever, or maybe I could have gotten like $20 if I'd have thrown a couple other things in. But yeah, I got just under $10, and it was about $4 for, I think this was accurate, about $4 for shipping. So yeah, I'm real happy with that. And again, I think you should definitely be looking out for Hello Kitty stuff and put it in lots. Anyways, so yeah, so there you go. Those are things that you can pick up for nickels, and you know, at least, you know, get $5, $6, $7 on. And I think these are the kind of things that are actually worth listing for a $5 or $7 return, just because they're so easy, probably really cheap to get when you find them, and just hardly take up any space, and they move. You know, people are actually looking for these kind of things. And again, the way I discovered these is because I had them laying around my house, and I just thought, well, let's try it. And I found out that, you know, I should probably ask higher prices. So start doing your own experiments with little things you have laying around the house, or when you find something at a weigh and pay, go ahead and give it a try and see if it works for you. Like the Gilldaddy channel, they pick up like arbitrary things and then put them in lots, and they just collect them over time and then put them in big lots. And so that's kind of one strategy that you could use to increase your sales on eBay. So anyways, there's links down below to both my eBay store and the Gilldaddy channel. Check them out. Check out my store, and leave a comment or even subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you watching this video. Have a great day.